go.
Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
What's going on this Friday, the 14th of March? Moving right along, getting to the end of the month very quickly.
Man, yeah. Halfway through already.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Man.
Yes.
Man, when you put it like that, 2025, 25% over already.
It's going fast. Time keeps on slipping into the future.
Man, time.
Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. Leia Keister in the chat with the NDAs.
Let me take a swing at it.
Go for it. All right, let's go for it.
Happy yeah. Happy Friday. Yip. Yay. Yip. Yip.
All right.
I think I got it. She almost got me, but I think I got it. I think
trying to trip us up. Yeah, she's trying.
Yeah. Put that on the screen. Let the people show.
They saw it already. They seen it.
Yeah.
Pops gives us a good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Haven't been on lately. Been going out in the mornings again and all that. So I'm glad you're with us today.
I'll joyride. I heard about you.
My little hoopty. Mama God said, good morning, First Guy fam. Good morning, Mama God. Appreciate y'all. Kimber Snipes in the chat. Good morning, y'all. Hey. Mama God said almost 1 month away from tax deadline day. Get them docs together.
My back.
This is a family show. You can't come on here cussing at us talking about the T word.
My back.
Too early for the T word. Marlon Harrison gives us a good morning, First Sky fan. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. Fresh edition is happening now on Friday the 14th. 2025 of March, and special guest coming in today. Man. I really can't wait for it. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to this woman, Jasmine Harris, candidate for mayor, Omaha, Nebraska. Again. That's right. Coming on through. She's ran a few years back and decided, hey, I'm not done. There's still work to be done. We're still in kind of the same situation. It's Mayor Stothard that's still here, and going through the motions. So she's coming back with a lot of the things that she talked about before. She's going to be talking about them again. The ways that things that she's been talking to the constituents about change around here. What we'd love to see in a new mayor. So yeah, can't wait to talk to her. She's just a pleasure to talk to anyway. So yeah, can't wait to talk to her. And and more news and things going on in the show. Really appreciate everybody that is getting up early with us. Judy Princess says much love from me.
Hey,
appreciate you, Judy Princess. Leia Keister gave you a round of applause, buddy.
Okay.
Did good. Okay. Pops says not hearing anything. You guys having trouble hearing us? Maybe it might just be Pops this morning. Excited. Yeah, Pops might want to restart. I don't know if he can't hear us, so I don't know. You might want to restart. I wish I did know the sign language.
I wish, man. Was it ASL?
Yeah. I'm gonna learn one day. I think ASL is very interesting. As a matter of fact, when we're working on films, speaking of films, this is the week that Omaha Film Festival is going on. So if you guys know people, especially people knowing people in films, I just saw something where Marcy Yates over at Culture House made his film debut. He was in a film, I think, that aired yesterday. So this, remember, with the Omaha Film Festival, you're also supporting your friends that are making and being in films, and also provide music for films and stuff as well. So definitely check that out. Check your feed, see if anybody is going to Omaha Film Festival. Definitely check it out. But on the film set, sometimes when you can't really communicate to your crew, a lot of them have resorted to learning ASL and doing sign language over the set when you got to be quiet on the set. So
quiet on the set.
It's always something I wanted to know.
Hey, I know I spelled my name in ASL. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, Pops is good. Appreciate you. Is this Maggie Miller Jenkins in there? She said, peace, peace, good people. Appreciate you. I
No,
don't
that's
know. No.
no Legie Baby.
Okay,
That's
Legit
kind of
Baby.
a new name.
Haven't heard that name before, but I've seen Maggie Miller Jenkins come in on some code names sometimes, but I don't think that's the case this time. This is a new name.
Yeah, somebody
Oh,
else. So welcome.
welcome. Kimmer says thank you to anyone who came to testify yesterday on LB 556 or submitted online testimony. Appreciate that, Kimmer, because this
Yeah,
is definitely what we're going to be talking about today. Little preschool to prison pipeline discussion today.
yeah.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Also, Marlon Harrison in the chat says I was watching the news the other day and they were talking about how it's been 5 years since we had to go on lockdown. I don't know why it feels longer than that.
Because you don't believe in the concept of time.
Well done. Appreciate that very much. Right on. Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Laji Bebe says Neem presented last year at this year. Neem, Neem.
Is that a film?
Is that a film? Let us know. Black Dynamite in the chat saying, yeah, she said a film with Marcy's. Dope. Okay, cool. That's what's up.
Nice.
Neem. I got to check it out. That's interesting. I haven't heard. Got to check it out. Black Dynamite gives us a good morning. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning.
Hey,
Everybody's feeling good on a Friday. I appreciate that.
yeah.
How you doing today, buddy?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling surprisingly good because I did not get enough sleep last night. It was kind of one of those nights where you can either go to sleep or you fall asleep. I definitely fell asleep last night and then woke up surprisingly like, it's 7. Oh gosh. So yeah. Here we are. But feeling good. And I do want to double down on the Omaha Film Festival thing. Yeah. Urging people to get out there, man. And it might not be Cannes, but yeah,
man, it's a solid film festival, bro.
Hey, man, check it out.
It's one of the more solid ones in the country, to be honest.
I'm gonna say, man, like you think of the level of films that are presented there. I mean, Undesigned, the Red Line, also Straight Out of Omaha. These are huge films. Again, shout out to the I don't think I'm saying was that the name of the film, Undesigned, the Red Line?
You talking about? Yeah, no, that was the name of the exhibition. What was the name of the Red Line films?
Yeah, I'm drawing the blank. I need some drunk shit. But yes. Again, my point is some great films are shown at the Omaha Film Festival. Don't sleep on the Omaha Film Festival. Check it out. Support.
Big time. With that, we'll jump into some community updates. Appreciate everybody who has submitted some things in Friends of First Sky Omaha. If you don't know, you can go to Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook, and that's where the conversation continues. And we like to throw a lot of haps in there, stuff that's going on around town, but also news. Get that. Anybody see the blood moon last night? Anybody see the lunar eclipse?
Man,
I saw Justin Wayne post a pic from his phone. So it's not a bad pic he got with his Samsung.
Man, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the main Wayne does it again.
What the main Wayne. This was from a professional with a professional camera here. This is the lunar eclipse that happened. They call it the blood moon. It's pretty rare. I don't know if you guys checked it out last night. You get a little bit of a little bit of inspiration when you check out what's going on in nature that way. So very interesting stuff. Also, a very important thing coming up. This is take a bus ride. This is actually a call to action. Meet them at the Memorial and Malcolm X Memorial Foundation on March 14th at 11:30. Take a bus ride to testify at the legislature, room 1507. All Nebraskans impacted by redlining. Speaking of redlining, this is about LB 487 redress and restitution for redlining task force act. Yeah, man, that's what's up. So shout out to Clarice Dombeck, who's like really pushing this. Shout out to Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, North Omaha Legacy Tours. Everybody's teamed up to get you actually down to the legislature. I just talked to one of the candidates last night that was talking about bus lines from Omaha to Lincoln, so that people can get down there and testify and do the thing. So I'm shout out to North Omaha already doing it in a big way. So yeah, if you want to get down with this and be a part of it, even if you can drive down, you might want to jump on the bus anyway, just for the camaraderie of the people who are fired up about going down and testifying for LB 487. Again, this is March 14th at 11:30 a.m. Meet down at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. Take a bus ride up, testify at the state legislature. and you'll have some support there to do that. So shout out to them putting that together the big
Yeah,
way.
man.
Love it. I love it. We already talked about the Omaha Film Festival, of course. Definitely. Here's something else coming up. This is an upcoming event, and this is a town hall. So what I'm understanding about the legislature, or actually, city council members, they really need to pay attention to the budget. They need to pay attention to what's going on, where the money is going, what happens to uh, the funds that the mayor allocates for their district, and they go and advocate for that. This is being put on by Nebraska for Us. It's a town hall. You can definitely check it out on March 19th at 7 p.m. CD2 Community Town Hall. This is be a discussion talking a lot about what's going on as far as what money's being spent and needs to be spent as well. So lots there. I'll put this in the chat. If you want more information on that, you can click on that and register to go check it out. But I thought this was pretty interesting. Town hall to talk about the everything that's going on. First of all, in CD2, but especially if you want to talk about like where the money's going, what's happening with the budget situation, what's going to happen there. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Appreciate. Let me get out of this. Yeah,
Stuck.
yeah, stuck. Okay. Yeah, appreciate that. Kimmer says I submitted testimony for 487. Appreciate that.
Nice.
I always want to give shout out to people who are submitting testimony and going up and also speaking personally at for the legislature. So shout out to Kimmer for that, and always giving us a good example of people doing that. So that's what's happening. I just want to reiterate a few other things that's going on. Noma has a songwriting showcase coming up
Oh, okay.
on March 20th.
Nice.
Yeah, man, this is Friday, so we want to talk a little bit about some of the arts. Love Supreme Fridays, you know what I'm saying, and just talk a little bit about what's going on, especially on the Deuce, because lots going on the Deuce these days. And I just wanted to kind of showcase this. Danny Cleveland, that we all know and love, posted this and said that she's going to be one of those singer songwriters on the
Okay.
showcase night. So definitely check it out. March 20th. It's going to happen right there. Love's Jazz. We still call them Love's Jazz.
Yeah,
But it's
Mama Come Love Jazz.
yeah. Noma. Right there on the block. So definitely check that out. But the big thing that's going on today, as a matter of fact, we're trying to get everybody to come out today.
On the block.
Union for Contemporary Art, back on the block. Union for Contemporary Art is showing this show right here, man. Field of Lilies. This is going to be something else. I think the people that have been really pushing this and posting about this and spreading the word and trying to get people to come, it's going to be a good, solid, authentic group of folks that are going to come and really support this young lady here. She showed actually at Assembly of the Saints Gallery last year. A few people met her there, but now she's coming to the Union for Contemporary Art. The opening reception is tonight at 6:00. We're definitely going to try to get as many people there as we can to support this young lady. Really appreciate that. We talked about this the other day, and we were wondering why we didn't see too much online about it from Union for Contemporary Art. But in the last couple of days, man, they've been blasting it out. So sounds like they're back on track, and I'm just really proud of the community for blasting this out first. Really trying to get it out there, finding out what's going on, knowing who we want to support, and then bringing them out. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good turnout for this opening reception tonight. I highly encourage you to go check it out. It's supposed to be fairly nice today. It's supposed to rain a little bit later on today, but we can handle that. Let's go support this lady here. I actually got a chance to meet her the other day. Just
Nice.
happened to be standing out on the Deuce, and she rolled up. Got a chance to meet her. Really cool. Lily Stennis Vinson. This is her solo exhibition. So yeah, let's support this young lady and come out tonight for the opening reception, 6:00 at Union for Contemporary Art. It's gonna be something else.
Man.
That's really kind of the biggest thing going on as far as I can see this weekend. If there's anything happening this weekend that you guys see, please let us know about what's happening. You can do it in the chat, or you can do it at Friends of First Sky Omaha. This is how we get our information. We want to hear from y'all about what's happening, what's going on, what it is that you think is important we go check out, and so on and so forth. So
big time.
Yep. On the Deuce, it's going down. Appreciate that. With that, just want to make one more mention. I saw Idle Vital. I saw the family from Idle Vital who was saying, "Hey, we appreciate everybody that's been helping us out, but we haven't reached our goal yet." And so, yeah, just want to remind everybody that this is still happening. Idle Vital is a young lady who owns this shop, and if you guys haven't heard about this story, she got into a new building, and the landlord didn't really tell her too much about the plumbing situation that
Man,
that jumped on her. So
sold her a lemon.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Whatever the confusion was, she ends up having to raise some funds. I think she needed to raise 25 grand in order for her to get this plumbing situation taken care of, or she might not be able to have the building there. So we want to try to help her out and absolutely, donate to this cause as well. It's still going, and we still need to help. Even if we've donated before, let's see what we can continue to do. So as you can see, there's some people in the community that's been donating some anonymous donations, but we're still working on it. So let's
Yeah,
keep on working on it for this sister, and appreciate everybody. What she did say is that what people have done is come and bought the product. So yeah, come through and get your juice, get your smoothies, get your everything that they got going on, because that's also how they're raising money to get this problem solved too. So
man, get
yeah,
right.
man, get right, get right. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out. There's gonna be some other things we talk about a little later on the show, but we want to save some time for our special guest that's coming
Yeah,
on. Yep. If those of you don't know, Jasmine Harris is going to join us today. Cannot wait to speak to her. Always a pleasure to talk to her. So I can't wait till she comes on and we have some discussion. Get your questions ready in the chat, and yeah, let's figure it out, man. Are you ready for a new mayor?
man, man, it's about that time. Mean Gene been holding it down for quite a while, you know.
Uh,
Yeah, we talk about the issues a lot, is she solving them? So definitely we'll be talking about that a little later on. Also, as we get into today's conversation, kind of want to bookend and you're mentioning earlier again, big shout out to everybody who's been continuously posting in friends of and just been active, letting us know what matters to you the most, letting your voice be heard. That's what it's about. And we're definitely listening. Want to talk about, a couple of the bills that everybody have been responding to, as Kimra mentioned. Big shout out to those of you who stepped up and stepped out yesterday for LB 556. There's actually a write-up in the Nebraska Examiner we'll be talking about. But this is something that I'm quite interested in, learning why this is not being reported in the news, as far as LB 578, which is talking about the prison minimum wage, which is something very, very interesting, kind of on the heels as we approach the voter registration deadline ahead of the April 1st primary. Again, remember, a new bill has changed the game in Omaha or Nebraska politics, as far as formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters, a whole percentage, a whole swath of the population now being able to vote. And now another conversation I want to present to y'all about, again, this whole minimum wage bill. Again, LB 578, something that I'm not really seeing much about, but shout out to Marianne Williams for bringing this to our attention on Friends Of. So I'm kind of making that connection, the preschool to prison pipeline, if you will. Again, LB 556 and 578. You got to know that there's a connection. Once they, arrest your 11-year-old, they're going to put them to work, have them building couches and credenzas and stuff like that. Yeah, we're going to get into it. But also, again, big shout out to Cleese Dombeck as well for sharing on Friends of First Sky. That's kind of where I came across it, but everybody involved, especially Senator Terrell McKinney, who's pushing the bill, LB 487. That is going down today, so a call to action right after this show. If you got the time, go ahead and make your way down to the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. As you saw on the screen earlier, there will be a bus ride down again to Lincoln to testify for LB 487, the Redress and Restitution for Redlining Task Force Act, which again is a bill presented by Senator Terrell McKinney. Thank you to Sister Kimra for reminding us of the name of that film. I can't believe I forgot it, but Divisible, heavy film. Also the Undesigned, the Red Line exhibit, a heavy exhibit, and a heavy conversation. Again, we've been pushing this whole lead remediation situation in partnership with the city of Omaha, and you got to know that, again, the importance of that to us is the connection to redlining and the history of poor soil and poor environment that comes directly from redlining. So we'll be talking about that a little bit throughout the show. And then, of course, we do have our special guest coming up a little later on. So, yeah, in the meantime, between time, let's go ahead and take a quick breather, smell the coffee beans, get a whiff of that drunk ship, and come on back.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more of this. I'm seeing in the chat too. Legie Bebe was talking about Nebraska Entertainment Monthly. I'm perked up.
I saw
You hear
that.
about this? You hear about this? She said, "We Neem have been making silent moves for the state and the Omaha community. You'll hear more about it soon." Man,
yes, man, might need to come through.
Love a good mystery. Might need to come through. We have to talk about it. Let's take a quick break. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He is Buddy the God. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Chatchimers, Ghost Sisters, everybody who is checking in on us today. Stay tuned. We'll be right back again. Let me get this going. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back. Man, fat figuring everything today. Stay tuned.
It's one of them days.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children. Brought to you by Douglas County.
Shout out to Douglas County Health Department. Appreciate you guys hitting us up, man, so we can kind of really get this lead thing together. I think this is one of the problems that we have in North Omaha because of the environment, but this is one of the things that I feel like we're close to solving. So shout out to them. We've worked with the planning department on the remediation in the land, but as you can see, there's a lot more things out there that could be detrimental to you that's got lead in them. So we all are trying to be vigilant and really knock this problem out. This is one of the things we can easily knock out in North Omaha. So shout out to Douglas County Health Department for dropping that. We appreciate that very much. Also, before we jump into the conversation, Pops, I did not see anything about Tim Waltz coming to Omaha today. Anybody see that?
Yeah. I was actually going to acknowledge that. I did kind of see some headlines talking about Tim Walz maybe making an address. I didn't really look into it, but yeah, I'll maybe can send you a link that I found earlier a little later on if you're interested in that.
I wouldn't have came across my radar at all.
Yeah, not in our wheelhouse. Not, we here to talk about some other things today, but I do appreciate the question. I do appreciate you always tuning in, Pops. And yeah. So if you are interested in that, yeah, I can send you that, or you can look out for the weekly rap might be in there. I don't know. Hey. But yeah, in the meantime, between time, yeah, we're not gonna talk about Tim Walz today. We got a special guest coming up, so not gonna waste too much time. I definitely wanted to dive into some of the bills again that a lot of you have been paying attention to, getting active around and behind, and I definitely appreciate that. Kind of coming off our Senator Cipher on Monday, kind of bookending the show this week with some legislative talk and some calls to action, really, because there's some things going down today. Shout out to Senator McKinney. Actually, I think he has a few hearings today on a few bills that he's pushing. But I do want to look back and kind of reiterate for those who showed up and showed out yesterday. I believe Sister Kimra said that she went out and testified for LB 556, actually saying a thank you to anyone who came to testify yesterday on LB 556 or submitted online testimony. Again, if you're not familiar, LB 556, very controversial. I'm kind of calling it the preschool to prison pipeline bill, if you will. Again, shout out to Nebraska Examiner, always doing the good work. Of course, Sidney Gonzalez behind the pen on this. Talking about the bill, headline reads, Nebraska juvenile crime bill sparks lengthy, sometimes testy public hearings. Again, if you don't know, LB 556 is a controversial proposal that in part would allow alleged offenders as young as 11 to be detained. And I think there's conversation of that actually going as low as 9 years old being detained for crimes. Again, those are just addressing the legislature's Judiciary Committee were wide ranging from law enforcement, elected officials, nonprofits, educators, moms of victims. Just about everybody came out. So again, echoing what Sister Kimra said, big shout out to those of you who did step up and step out, because again, this is a problem. This is a problem. Actually, a few of you reposted Senator Terrell McKinney's post on Facebook, basically saying, protect your babies, man. They have a whole kid jail that's empty that they're, of course, not going to close down. They're more likely to fill it up than to close it down. And they're building more prisons. So,
yeah.
Lots
of people speaking up here on this. There was some town halls ACLU put together last week to be able to talk about some of these things, get your language together, and so on and so forth. Shout out to some people that went up. Here's a Chatchimer medicine song that went up and got up and spoke. This is for when they were talking about it before. Shout out to everybody that went up and spent some time, and like you said, like Kimmer said too. Anybody who wrote in or showed up. This is something that Kimmer brought to our attention a while back, man. This hit Kimmer real hard before it even sunk in with me. It had sunk in with her deeply, and she let us know about what this was all about, man. And now it's a common thing for us to talk about this all the time. They're trying to charge 12-year-olds as adults, detain 9-year-olds. Sounds crazy. There's a whole lot of people I've talked to, politicians that are running for city seats right now that are really not about it. There's even some law enforcement agencies that are not about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very controversial bill, and shout out to everybody who's paying attention to it.
Yeah, please, if you're not paying attention to it, we're talking to you. Please pay attention to it, because this is a serious issue. You know, again, when I talk about the preschool to prison pipeline, I mean, this is it. This is pretty much it. Once you get to arresting 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds, you know, Paul, you can maybe speak to this. We just got off of the rap reentry recidivism project with Metro, so you kind of know once you get in the system, it's kind of hard to get out.
Yeah, there's lots of efforts to make sure that you don't go back, because it's too easy to once you get in the system. So yeah, this is like you said, this is kind of the preschool to prison pipeline bill. You're starting the babies off even younger than before,
right
into the system.
Right. And again, I'm pretty sure all of us can think of some shenanigans, you know, that we would have got in trouble with at 11 years old. Like, come on, man, that's a baby. It's a baby. So big shout out to those who are pushing the line on this. And it's not just that. Again, shout out to Marianne Williams for also bringing our attention to another bill that's somewhat connected to this, that I'm not seeing a lot of publicity about, but that's what this platform is for. Talking about LB 578, which is a bill, again, to address minimum wage for prison. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we're on the heels of a bill that restored voting rights for our formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters. And now there's a bill pushing the line for them to get minimum wage while incarcerated, because if you don't know, they are getting put to work. They're working, but how much money are they making? And you know, I am kind of curious. I did come across this what is it, Cornhusker Industries, and yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this. We might have to, you know, bring this back on a later episode, because yeah, this is something very, very interesting. Paul, you got the video teed up about this bill and kind of the impact of it.
Yeah, let me go ahead and shout out to the ACLU for putting this together. Check this out real quick.
Might be muted at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Still not hearing much.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, this let's try that one more time, because I definitely want to hear what this brother got to say here. Let's do it like this.
And anything other is exploitation.
Got it?
Yep, I heard it.
Okay, cool. Let's jump in real quick.
Whitmer with the ACLU of Nebraska, and today we're going to testify on a bill that brings minimum wage to those who are incarcerated. No one should get paid less than their worth, and anything other is exploitation. Right now we have people getting paid $1.26 a day for doing essential jobs. Other factors to take in consideration is that minimum wage for somebody inside could help them pay for their family, to be supported, who are possibly and likely struggling out there, to pay victim restitution, to pay for savings so that they can be successful upon reentering society, which is something we all want as the public. So, again, minimum wage, minimum standards, we want the government to respect that.
There you go. Simple.
Man. Shout out to Jason Whitmore. We've been seeing him a lot lately. ACLU doing the good work.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Again, T ran in the chat. Slave wages.
Can you imagine? Now, I got wind of this when I was in California because when California fires hit, the people that
Man,
got on the front line is the people that's coming out of prison. Maybe they're literally working for $1 a day on the front lines of the fires, dying for a dollar a day check.
man. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker in that situation that always peeves me off. They can't become actual firefighters when they get out.
Bro. Cannot work for the fire department with a record. So they dress these things up sometimes like they are out here learning on the job, and they can get good jobs,
Man.
get out and can't.
All right, speaking of that, man, I gotta show this, and then will again, we got our guests coming up, but to kind of put a pin on this conversation, and we definitely gonna have to bring it back because it's slave labor, and I've said it multiple times on this show. It's not like slavery; it is slavery, straight up. And to your point of dressing it up like it's looking good, man. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what these Cornhusker State Industries are paying their 500 incarcerated men and women that they got building and learning job skills, but I guarantee you it's not minimum wage. Especially if they don't have to pay them minimum wage.
Yeah. Let's put this link in the chat, man. Show these people what's going on. So they can kind of look for this themselves, man. Help us out. Help us dig into this and see what's going on. What do they pay these incarcerated men and women? It's a good question.
Man, if you don't know about Cornhusker State Industries, they serve churches, schools, libraries, offices. I'm kind of curious. Camera, do you know if any OPS schools are using these slave couches that they making? That costs $900, mind you. Again, they making money over there, but how much are they paying the inmates?
So true. So true. We'll come back to that. In the meantime, between time, we got special guests waiting in the wings. I can't wait to hear what she has to say about some of these items.
Man,
as she is running for mayor, ladies and gentlemen. Jasmine Harris has joined us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Doing all right. Doing better now that you on. Welcome.
Yeah,
Thank y'all for having me on.
Appreciate it. It's been a while since you've been on or with us over here.
No, right?
Happy to have you back.
Y'all up early, and this is like getting kids up and ready for school. So getting kids ready for school in the morning don't always go as planned.
Right. Yeah, trust that we know.
Yeah.
We know. But it's always a pleasure to have you, and I'm really glad that you're able to get up this morning amidst all of those things too. Yeah. Because we saw you the other day, man, on that May Earl thing they had on TV.
Oh yeah, the debate.
Yeah, my take was when it came to you, I was really happy to hear what you had to say. You came with the facts, super calm in the midst of the circus between a couple of the people on stage that was happening. You came through. It sounding like the adult in the room, and I appreciated that very much. So first of all, for the people that don't know who you are, go ahead and introduce yourself if you would, please.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jasmine Harris. North Omaha native, born and raised, still here raising my family, and I am running for mayor of Omaha in the 2025 election.
Man, doing it again. So nice. Had to do it twice.
Most people didn't know. In 2021, I ran and I was 1,100 votes shy of advancing to the general. Biggest reason after that, when talking to folks, they didn't know there was an actual election. And so, we were in the midst of COVID. People were, things were just totally different then. And so just reminding people, I said, allow me to reintroduce myself, right? Because I've been here doing this work. I'm going to stay here doing this work. And for me, this isn't a career move. This is to ensure that the voice of the people are taken to City Hall.
Man. So, let's go ahead and dive right into that. Aside from, your political aspirations, you are the ED of a nonprofit. Can you kind of speak to that work a little bit?
I'm not executive director. I'm the director of policy and advocacy, but I am part of the executive team. So our organization is RISE. We've been around since 2016. We were a part of a national umbrella and broke off from there at the end of 2018 and rebranded as RISE in 2019. And so we went from a team of 5 and grew a $750,000 budget to now a team of 30 with a $3.5 million budget, doing this work on reentry. What we do, we have a program where we go into some of the state correctional facilities. It's a 6-month program where we focus on employment readiness, character development, and entrepreneurship. What we say, people have an innate ability to hustle, and what being a hustler is being a CEO, right? And it's in that skill set and flipping it to do it towards something positive. And I tell people all the time, some of the most brilliant people are sitting behind bars. They just never had anyone tell them that they were brilliant.
There you go. There you go.
And so for me, this is like just listening in on the topics of this morning, and being down at the legislature. So my job is to go down to the legislature and to work with elected officials to get bills passed. So what a lot of people don't know, a lot of my work is background work. I don't necessarily have to be out front to do it, but the work I do helps change lives for generations. The biggest thing we worked on last year was getting voting rights restored for over 7,000 Nebraskans. And we've been working on that for 8 years. Shout out to Senator Justin Wayne, former Senator Justin Wayne, for continuing to bring that back. But, being one of the people who were out in the community organizing and getting folks together around that was major.
Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing Rise putting in the work, so I'm definitely glad that you touched on that. And this is actually the perfect transition into your run for mayor. Actually, again, as you see, right before you came on, we were talking about that. Yeah. And one of our Chatchimers actually, brought up your opponent, and I kind of want to hear your response to this. He says, mind you, Mean Gene was just on the news talking about how crime rates are down. Mm-hmm. So why do we need jails? So again, given your background as you're running for mayor, public safety, community police relations, big issue. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, so public safety is one of my top priorities, right? When we think about public safety, everybody automatically goes to law enforcement. Law enforcement is a piece of it. We have a need for so many law enforcement in jails and prisons because of the laws that are passed that continue to be put on the books that say we need to arrest these people. That's the only reason why we have the jails and prisons and the mass incarceration, because they're going to continue to over police, right? Based on how many laws are being passed. That you go onto the legislature and see introduced bills for this year. There are so many bills introduced to create more felonies, right? And it's like, we can't felony our people into prison for the rest of our lives, right? Pretty soon it'll be a felony to wake up. I don't know. It's just, the amount of felony laws that continue to be passed or introduced is what continues to have the need for these jails and prisons. For me, I'm all about prevention and alternatives to incarceration. When you go upstream and address the root causes of why people turn to crime in the first place, that's how your crimes lessen. So one of the things I want to focus on in that position as mayor is the mental health responders unit. We've all known somebody, seen somebody go through a mental health crisis. And especially if it's a loved one, we would rather have a mental health responder come to that situation before a law enforcement comes to that situation. Right. What you hear a lot, especially with our young Black boys and being autistic or on the spectrum and all the things, that there's just no rhyme or reason in how that interaction with law enforcement is going to go. And so if we can have that mental health responders unit staffed appropriately, resourced appropriately to handle the amount of calls that they're getting, we saw that there was an uptick in how many calls they're getting. So if we can go upstream, prevention, mental health responders unit, and then I want to add mobile health crisis units who are out on the streets, going to people and meeting them where they are to get those needs met, right? We talk about all the time, like the homelessness population. What we're not doing is making sure that they have what they need while they're there. And then doing that outreach. You have these different organizations, different service providers, different advocates. It all needs to be coordinated. So I think all of these pieces come together to create what we refer to as public safety. It's not just law enforcement.
Interesting that you're saying that. We're in the process of filming all the candidates running for city council, and what I'm learning about it is that the mayor is the boss, and you're going to be the one that is going to be meeting with these different city council people from the different districts. And the few that we've talked to have the public safety issue was a big one. And I've heard kind of two versions of things going on. I heard people keep on saying we're 100 police officers short. I don't even, and I've been wondering where they're getting this number 100, and it's been several people have been saying this, while the exact opposite is happening on the other side, where people are saying the budget is too high for the police officers. We need to peel some of that budget back and put it into some mental health professionals and so on and so forth. What do you see there when it comes to public safety as far as the police is concerned, and in whether or not the police should be peeled back, or do you believe also that there needs to be, that we're 100 police short and we need more police in the street?
I think that number comes from the Police Officer Association and what they, I guess, were guaranteed in previous talks and budget talks with the mayor. So that's where that figure comes from. We've been operating under that amount for a while now. And as you saw yesterday, the police chief endorsed the mayor, and then the Police Officer Association endorsed McDonnell. So there's two, battling sides when it comes to that issue. For me, it is. You have to look at the budget. A couple of days before that, the mayor and the chief were on doing a press conference on that they're going to raise the salaries of the current hired officers so that they're, the pay the highest within the region. So you can't just say, well, we're going to add 100 more police officers when you already have to raise the pay wages for those who are already hired, and then think, okay, we have all this unlimited money, when that's not the case. And so for me, you have to put prevention in there. Your budget is going to show where your priorities are. And if you're not about preventing crime, then that's not a priority for you. Then your priority is that you are trying to just ensure that you said you're going to fill these positions that you said you were going to fill. Do we really need to fill them? I don't know. I'm not in there yet. And then when you have the facts that we are at the low crime rates, we are solving 100% of homicides, right? Then what's the justification to say we need 100 more officers?
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I love that. Tony Johnson in the chat says something about that. The last town halls of the Empowerment Network also tout this claim of crime being down. This is a common cycle of saying this during election and funding cycles. I kind of understand that sentiment. I feel like the one thing, though, is that the records are showing that the crime is down. So, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people are disputing that crime is down. Again, why does that mean that we need more police and more the budget being bigger for the police department, so on and so forth? So, yeah, good question. I really appreciate your answers on that one for sure, because I've been wondering now, after speaking with all these city council people or city council candidates, okay, yeah, we're getting a grasp on what's actually happening out here and why they're saying what they're saying. So you cleared up something completely for me on that one. So
thank you for that aspect. But in the honor of time, I mean, there's so many other issues to get into. There's housing. You mentioned homelessness. There's economic development. Man, there's a lot going on. What are your kind of other top priorities as far as your campaign goes?
You hit on two of them, right?
Okay.
It's safe and affordable housing. I know people talk about affordable housing, but you got to have safe and healthy, right? Because
there you go.
You got the city views, right? You got the legacy crossings, and the city should have a plan in place. One, because they haven't been following their landlord registry law. So you need a plan in place if you're not going to follow that law, right? So for me, it's making sure that there's a plan in place for when those situations come up, because to say, well, that's not our responsibility isn't a good enough answer, right? Especially for our people, our family, friends, and neighbors who are going through that. We talk about the landlord registry. We need to ensure that is being upheld, and it needs to be tightened up.
What is that? Just quickly.
So the landlord registry is where all the landlords in the city are supposed to register, and then there's supposed to be folks who go out and inspectors who go out and view the units and make sure everything is in line. Kind of like the health department when they go out to restaurants, right? It's supposed to be in there. So they don't have enough inspectors to do it on a regular basis. And what we also need to do is hold these out-of-state landlords more accountable. Because that's what you're running into with a lot of the situations, is that there are people who don't live in the state. They don't have representatives, anywhere near the apartments to make sure things are going according to how they're supposed to be going, according to their side of the lease as well. We always talk about renters and them paying, but the landlords have a part in that lease too.
It's a contract.
It's a contract, and it's not being held up. You have to look at the consent decree and how landlords have made it this far, and that's in a court-ordered agreement of how the complaints are received and how we're not battling that. So there's a lot of things that go into that safe and affordable housing we need to address. It's also ensuring that we have the inventory to say we can even provide people with housing. We
Yeah.
need 18,000 units by 2030 to stay on
Actually,
par.
30.
Yeah, and so we're nowhere near that, right? So it's ensuring that we're working with developers. For me, it's intentional development. People who have a mission. We have a lot of Black developers coming up who I know their mission is to build for the people. So making sure they have access to contracts and things like that is really key for me. We talk about economic development. That's a piece of it. Small businesses, local businesses. We don't support our local small businesses. That's our life source. Because big companies can come in and go out, but if we don't support our local businesses, we don't have a life source to compete with others in the region. And so for me, ensuring that they have access to contracts, that they have access to, streamlined processes. What information do they need? So creating a hub that ensures that we have folks working with them to get what they need to be prosperous in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And then transportation. We got the street. I call it the streetcar to nowhere. I'm sorry, not sorry. It's a localized streetcar that's going to operate in a small area, and it's not serving majority of the people in our community. Am I going to stop it? No. The opponent McDonald has stop the streetcar, put it to a vote. I said that train has left the station. We've already spent too much money to go back on it. That would be fiscally irresponsible to do that. So now what I want to do is actually develop a working relationship with the transit authority that's been created to make sure that we are connecting all of our transportation systems. We have Orbit, we have the regular bus, we got the streetcar. Let's get them functioning to ensure that we have folks getting to where they need to be and on time. And then dream big. I tell folks all the time, back in 2000, 2001, we had the ability, we had the votes to create a light rail system in Omaha. The same time frame Denver did. Denver took off.
Wow.
The mayor at that time vetoed it. So let's revisit that. What does that look like for Omaha to have a light rail system? If we done annexed Elkhorn, we're down at the river. There is nothing that gets us from the river out to Elkhorn in a meaningful amount of time. And then, if not that, what about a regional train from Omaha to Lincoln? There are so many people that travel that road. I travel that road all the time, and I'm like, if I had a train, I can actually get work done and not worry about my safety as much because, some people in Nebraska can't drive.
Man,
some people.
Man, statistically, the worst drivers in the nation year after year. So yeah.
What's striking me about this transportation situation too is the fact that it seems like when North Omaha especially is talking about this issue, or people associated with District 2, or people associated with our area, we're thinking more about transportation, the actual transportation that we need to get somewhere. The streetcar never struck me as a solution to transportation. It was like a solution to tourism, is what it felt like to me.
Yes.
So now that it's happening, I think that a lot of people are saying, well, like you said, it's fiscally irresponsible for us to stop it now. So what about extension? I've heard a few people ask about extending it to North Omaha, extending it to the airport. Is that something that you think is a good idea? Is something that you might push?
If it makes sense, yes. Because it's supposed to go down to like the CHI Center, right? If we can extend it to North Omaha to get folks from there to downtown and connect them, I think it would be a good idea.
Man, I'm actually more excited about a light rail system. Living here in Atlanta, seeing how the MARTA works, seeing how the MARTA impacts things. Thinking of you, Paul, going out to Metro at Elkhorn and how you gotta catch a bus, train, and a plane just to get to that MCC campus.
Man.
The idea of a light rail is a great idea. So
for sure.
I do appreciate the transportation portion.
Jump in the chat real quick. I know that we're limited on time, but Mama Guy's got great questions. He says city codes and zoning have been housing problems here. What are your thoughts and solutions?
Most definitely. So the mayor talks about the Affordable Housing Action Plan, and zoning was one of the recommendations that was put in there, and nothing is being done. Zoning is really key. Looking at the map, and we talk about middle housing where you can do like duplexes and triplexes. Only 14% of the available plots or whatnot in the land is dedicated to middle housing, and we need to change that. You have all this availability of doing these houses, right, or whatnot, and only 14% are available for middle housing. That's an issue in and of itself. So we do need to look at those zoning codes and ensure that we're moving those.
Yeah, the missing middle housing movement. So it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Appreciate that. We'll go ahead and I know you got to get going here, so I want to make sure that you get the last word in. What is it you want to leave us with? It could be elevator pitch. What was on the script? Elevator pitch, something from the heart. Anything.
My elevator pitch is always from the heart. I always speak from my heart. Thank you
go.
again, Paul and Buddy, for having me on. I truly appreciate it because I'm running to be the mayor for the people of Omaha. This isn't a career move for me. My movement has always been about centering people and making sure people who are marginalized are centered and have access to what they need access to. You can go to my website, votefordjasmine.com, sign up to volunteer. Give $5, $10, $20, whatever you have. I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't have these high dollar special interests who have poured into my campaign. This is all grassroots, and this is all everybody who's about being people and ensuring that they have someone who's going to represent them in that city hall. We can't continue business as usual. Everybody who's running, career politician, not me. I'm a regular person who says enough is enough, and we can't continue business as usual because it's not working and we're all suffering for it.
Man,
April 1st, Jasmine Harris.
There you go. Hey, I like it.
Thanks for taking the time this morning. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your day.
Best wishes. Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right. Always
hey, there you go. There you go. Laying it on us. Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Yeah, lots of discuss, man. Like I said, I'm really understanding what's going on here. I hope that we are able to get some more people. We actually talked to brother John Ewing about coming on the show as well and talking to him about his thoughts on these subjects because everybody's kind of ready for some change. It feels like
man. Time for it. Time for some action.
Time for some action. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Get here, wrap this show up here shortly, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, y'all. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. I'm Paul B.
Man, in the morning, just gonna step all on my jangle.
On the line, bro. It's gonna happen. This lack of sleep is gonna catch me at some point.
He tired, boss. He tired.
Yeah, it was gonna catch me at some point. Shout out to everybody who came in, asked some good questions. And any other questions, you can also, we went ahead and put that votefordjasmine.com in there so you can hit her up directly and check it out for real. Before we get on out of here, let's see. Matthew Miller Jenkins says she is someone I could truly believe in for leadership. Can't say that for the other candidates. All right.
Okay.
People are chiming up about this. That's what's up. Yep. Tony Johnson said he listened to the John Ewing interview on KFAB this week. Okay.
Went to KFAB for First Guy. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Shout out to my cousin John.
Another good question. Matthew Miller Jenkins will ask her another time. How does she plan on handling food insecurity with all the cuts Trump has been dumping down the line?
Man,
great questions, man. I would highly suggest you dig in and figure out what the mayor does. There's a good question that we got floating around here to the people to explain to us like a 5-year-old. What is the position?
Man,
and you figure out what's the responsibility of the mayor. What is she responsible for? What are city council members responsible for? First and foremost, understand that, because a lot of times people get blame put on them for stuff that's not even in their jurisdiction to be able to handle. So we figure out what the job is first, and then we can figure out where people stand on the issues that affect us. And so, yeah, I just appreciate everybody who's been. I've seen more people get involved with what's going on with local politics than I have ever. It's been growing over the years we've been doing this. So
that's getting active.
Kimmer says, I hope people put their money where the mouth. If they have it, because we all don't, where their mouth is.
I feel that. Hey,
I got to put my mouth where my mouth is because I'm broke.
Hey, man. Hey, sweat equity don't cost nothing.
Hey, man. That's what it is.
Yeah. So speaking of that, actually, Yeah, I do want to jump into this call to action before we get out of here. And you know, great transition from our conversation with mayoral candidate Sister Jasmine Harris. Again, a lot of people thinking of issues to talk about. I definitely wanted to get into environment because that is one, you know, speaking of things that may or may not fall in the wheelhouse of the mayor. Big shout out to the city of Omaha and Douglas County, who's, you know, working with us to make sure that we're pushing the line on this lead remediation situation and raising the awareness of what's going on with lead, because again, the environment is a big issue, especially in our community. Again, definitely wanted to, you know, may have to speak to Sister Harris again to get her ideas on the OPPD situation, which again, we've been talking about a lot here on the show, trying to get that situation addressed. And if we had a mayor who had, you know, some ideas, had some feelings about it, that could go a long way. But again, all of this, you got to know, is connected to the long history of redlining. Again, that's how a lot of our families ended up in the communities and dealing with the environment that we had to, because we weren't given many other options due to housing. So again, redlining and its ugly impact and history is still ongoing. So that's why I want to give a shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney for pushing LB 487, which again is a bill to adopt the Restitution and Redress for Redlining Task Force Act. Again, this is an act to build a task force that would again go in and look at the history of redlining and find some redress for that history and possible restitution for those impacted by that history. And if you want to speak on that, you can flash that again. This call to action for those who can make it today at 11:30 at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. There is a call to take a bus ride to testify at the state legislature. That's in room 1507 at 1:30 p.m. And again, this is about LB 487, the Redress and Restitution for Redlining Task Force Act. Shout out to Cleese Donbeck, who shared this. As you see, why living in the ghetto is so hard. Why do they even call it a ghetto to begin with? Where did the concept of a ghetto come from? And you kind of see the bigger picture about all this, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, man. Yeah. Again, we got just about 5 minutes left in the show. So definitely want to make sure I mention this before we get out of here. And again, if you don't know about the history of redlining, if you're not sure of the impact, if you're just unfamiliar, please do your homework. Check out Divisible if you can. I don't know if the Undesigned the Redline exhibit is still up, but big shout out to UNO and everybody who is involved with that. Please read a book, do some research, because again, still being impacted by the ugly history, which wasn't that long ago.
Man, you ain't lying. Something else to definitely get into today for sure. We want to make sure that we step out and support the sister who's doing the Field of Lilies Little Black Girl memoir. That's happening tonight, the opening reception. Let's show up and show out. The opening reception is tonight at 6:00. And let's go ahead and support over at Union for Contemporary Art. Like I said, it didn't get a whole lot of a push out as far as the marketing was concerned on this. But I'll tell you what, that grassroots marketing sure did kick in a big way in order to support the young sister. So definitely come and we'll have some more conversation when we're there tonight, 6:00. Opening reception is happening for Lily Stennis Vincent over at Union for Contemporary Art. Please, let's show up, man. We gotta support our art soldiers out here. Soldiers of art.
Man, love Supreme Warriors.
Love Supreme Warriors in a big way. So I appreciate that. And also one more thing I wanted to mention before we get out of here too, because this is coming up March 19th and March 20th. Is your youth interested in music and podcasting? Shout out to BAA, Urban Survival Club, man. Black Agenda Alliance really putting it down here. You can go register for this at Wesley Williams BAA at yahoo.com. Sign up your young one for music or podcast demonstrations so that they can kind of get into the scene of it. March 19th is going to be about music. March 20th is going to be about podcasting from 6 to 8 at 4200 North 30th Street. Definitely go check this out. And if you have anybody interested in your family that you want to register for this, I mean, we're always looking for things for kids to do.
Yeah, man.
This is the way to do it. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, because they got credentials for the kids to build.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you don't find something for them to do this, they gonna find something and put them to work.
This is very true.
For $1.25.
This is very true. Kimra, seeing something pretty interesting here. So I see the national funders are starting to look at media a lot more. There may be opportunity there for Sky. I hope you're right, because we a little nervous about opportunities for our kind of media
Man,
in this climate.
Man, you know, they say tell the truth, shame the devil.
Man. Appreciate it. Again, please, if you have any haps, anything going on this weekend, let us know. Put it in the Friends of First Sky Omaha group page so we can see what's going on. Really appreciate everybody that's done that already. Keep your eye on some stuff. What you
Yeah, camera in the chat talk about that adult podcasting workshop again. Maybe.
Kimra, if you need something, you always know you can come to us.
She know, that's why she's saying it.
I got some things in store. I've been talking to some folks about some things. There is some expansion coming here with First Sky Omaha. By the way, shout out to the people who are joining the reoccurring supporters of us.
Man, thank you.
People, $25 people, $50 people a month. Really appreciate everybody's support. And this is what is going to help us expand the news, expand everything that we're working on, and in a bunch of different directions. And everybody keeps on telling us it's needed. So, and we need more voices out here in a big way.
Yeah, actually, speaking of that, shout out to Tony Johnson. Appreciate your sentiment. He says, stresses my point of more media and shows here needed. 3 hours of First Sky Omaha info competing with 40 hours of their media. But hey, I'll be honest, man. Sometimes I look through and skim through all that media and dogs, and it ain't worth nothing. Hours of filler.
37 hours of fluff, bro. We both 3 and 3. We both we both 3 and 3. It's 37 hours of fluff out there for real.
Hey, be watching the news like, hey, that's great.
Can't stand it. Appreciate it, and we appreciate you. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's 8:01. If you believe in the concept of time, join us Monday. We'll have some special guests on Monday as well. Take care of yourselves this weekend. It's actually supposed to rain and snow tomorrow after being 80 degrees.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man. I can't with Nebraska. I can't. I'm gonna start you know what? Next year, live from Mexico.
Hey man, come down to my spot. We can do the show from here.
Come to Death Row.
Come to Death Row.
Pop says, wonderful, wonderful show. Thank you, and have a great weekend, everybody. Buddy, you got some words for the people? Thanks, Pops.
Yeah, man. Man, appreciate y'all. Big shout out to, again, mayoral candidate. Put some respect on her name. Sister Jasmine Harris, thank you for coming through. Again, we are interviewing the candidates, so definitely look out for that. Appreciate those of you who are, sharing questions, sharing your thought, kind of informing us what you would like to know, because it's helping with that. So again, we appreciate you, we love you, we thank you. Make sure you check out the weekly wrap. If you're not already signed up for it, please sign up for the weekly wrap. We are working on some new changes, some updates. We have gotten some feedback. A lot of people giving us positive feedback, but we're not satisfied with that. We want to keep growing, keep expanding, keep improving. It's all about progression, man. So again, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. And catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Man, as I was getting ready to think through Maha Tribe elders, I remembered that Brother Wells Lavelle was in the chat a little earlier.
Yeah.
We were talking about this company that employs people incarcerated. He was one of them, and we passed this by, but he told us earlier, when I was there, they paid $2 to $3 per hour. So we were saying, hey, what this company, that Cornhusker company that you pulled up there, we were wondering what they paid. We knew that it wasn't going to be, even minimum wage. And sure enough, here's some proof right here. So shout out to Brother Lavelle for sharing his story on this one. When he was there, they paid $2 to $3 per hour.
Man,
they all over their site, they claim they claim this is not funded by taxpayer dollars. It's all self-funded. I bet it is. If you got if you got a $900 couch, you pay somebody $2 to make it. So
man. And let me tell you, Paul, it was like the little single person chair couch that you might see at a library or like a school or something. It wasn't like a big love seat full time. It was $900 for that.
It's not like slavery. It is slavery. It's actually slavery. It's actually slave labor, slave wages, slavery,
slave treatment.
Where did they come up with that figure? $2 an hour. Where did they come out with $1.50 a day for firefighters? Where did they come up with that number? Why pay them anything at all? What's the What's the psyche behind saying we pay them $1.50 a day?
When it costs $5 per copay for medical. I mean, that's a whole nother hour, man. Come on, man. Let's get up out of here, man.
We're out of here. Shout out to Maha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to our Chatchimers allowing us to speak with you on these subjects. Really appreciate all the supporters, all the Chatchimers, all the ghost listeners, all the monitoring spirits.
We see you.
Never ever will admit they tuning in.
That's
cool. That's cool. We see your responses out there as well. And if you ever want to come onto the show and speak to us directly, you see our style. Let's do it. We don't got to be battling and being ugly. Let's just have a conversation and get on the same page if we can. If not, more power to each one of us without conflict, as far as I'm concerned. We're here for collaboration. This is what this is all about, solidarity. And that's it. We're out of here. Thank you very much. You guys take care of yourselves this weekend. We'll see you Monday. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green.